So I am a huge advocate for therapy, but I also understand that it might not work for everyone, and that's completely okay. If you're new here, what's up? My name is Tran, and I've been in therapy since 2014 or 2015. Honestly, there were a couple years in between there where I genuinely thought that therapy was a scam. I wasted a lot more time than I should have because of the mindset I had back then. So today I want to talk about the 3 main reasons why I felt that way, what I wish I would have known back then, so that you don't have to make the same mistakes and so that you can get more out of the therapy experience. Before we get into it, I just want to stress that I am not a mental health professional and I'm just talking from my own experience. But with that being said, the first reason why therapy might not work for you is if you have no idea why you're in therapy. So a little background about me. When I first started therapy, I was 21 at the time, and I went through a really traumatic life event where I lost someone I loved a lot. With good reason, everyone around me was worried and wanted me to talk about my feelings to a therapist. And at the time, I honestly didn't even know what therapy was and how it could even benefit me in any way. I think that the initial reason of just wanting me to talk to someone was not a strong enough reason for me to take therapy seriously. And I think that a lot of you might be able to resonate with that. But for me personally, I think I would have been more open to the idea of therapy if someone empathized with me and explained to me how therapy could benefit me, like what was in it for me, you know? And you're probably asking like, yeah, Tran, what are the reasons why? I think things like, how talking to an unbiased person would help me feel more comfortable, or, having a consistent person to go to whenever I felt alone. Things like that. Yeah, I just needed a friend. Okay, anyway, moving on to number 2 of why therapy might not work for you, and that is you have no goals whatsoever. I'm not talking about your life goals, your ambitions, because therapy is amazing for things like that. I'm talking about you not having a reason for being in therapy. At this point, it kind of goes along with number 1, except here, you know that you need therapy and you're willing to get the help. You just don't know what you need to improve on. You'd be surprised, right now, yeah, I'm really comfortable with my emotions and I love talking about my feelings. But when I first started taking therapy more seriously, I still wasn't there yet where I could talk about my feelings. It was the most uncomfortable thing for me. So what did I talk about instead? I talked about my day. I went into therapy every day and I was just like, I wasn't able to sleep. I had so much to do for school. And my therapist ended up calling me out on it one day and was just like, Tran, I think that you are talking about your day every day you come in because you're avoiding the deeper feelings and the root causes of what you're going through. And I think it's time for us to start talking about it. I was so mad that I quit therapy. I'm not even kidding. So reflecting now, obviously that was not the best choice that I could have made. But if I were to go back in time, I think I would have just picked any life domain that I could improve on. I could have improved on things like communicating more effectively with other people, my overall health, stress management, or sleep, literally anything else. And finally, the third reason why therapy might not work for you is if you aren't willing to put in the time and effort. So what do I mean by this point? Self-growth is no joke, dude. It's a lot of work, but I think at the end of the day, you'll be so happy and proud of yourself for the work that you're putting in. So when I started therapy again after the last time I quit, I was a lot more open with talking about the harder things. But I think in my head, me just talking about the hard things made it feel like I was progressing already, that I already put in the work of doing it when that wasn't the case. I think talking about the hard things, for example, in my relationship at the time, I was having a really hard time communicating my emotions, especially in a distressing moment, like having a fight or something. I was doing so well that I was learning so much until a fight came up. And then all of it went out the window. It was a really rough time. It's one thing, and it's great, when you're learning new skills and you feel like you're actually progressing, but it's another thing to actually apply what you've been learning in therapy to your everyday life. Let's say you have trouble controlling your anger when you're talking to other people. If you're in therapy and you're learning all these skills, but you're still out in the world just telling everyone and their mamas to like fuck off because you're super mad, like literally so easily, that's not gonna help you in your everyday life. You have to be able to implement these skills. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you're looking to start therapy and want to learn more, go ahead and click this playlist right here where I'll go ahead and share my own experiences with therapy and we could learn together. I love you and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.